guys, I'm in Mystery City number 4. I can't even believe I'm saying that, number 4. I'm gonna do something a little different for this interview. I'm actually having a tour of the facilities the day before the interview because I have a Saturday interview. So as soon as I get back, I will report to you guys and let you know how my flight went, how everything was, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys how I decided to build my school list and what I was looking for and what I chose. So yeah, that's all coming up. I'm back. I just came back from the tour that I was going on that I was telling you guys about. So this interview was a little different because, or is a little different. I haven't even had my interview yet. We actually toured the clinic the day before, which was kind of strange because the clinic doesn't open on Fridays, only for emergency cases from what we understood. So I was kind of excited to see the clinic full and to see how I would be thriving, but I guess that was not in the plans. I wanted to tell you guys, first of all, really quick, just a little anecdote from my journey. In order to come to this Mystery City, I had to basically fly a long way, right? And guess who got stuck with a crying toddler? A toddler that was very unruly. This toddler was not very well behaved. His parents kind of say like, oh, please don't do that, or please stop. But they didn't really do anything. Like, the child is freaking Tarzan, wild and crazy. And I had to listen to him wail for a long time. And I get it. Toddlers and babies on a long flight or even a short flight, they get tired, and I understand that. But then, what happened then was the worst part. All of a sudden, in the middle of the flight, we have like an hour and a half left, I smell a whiff of perfume, and it's very strong. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, do I smell? Like, why did they spray that? And it was kind of like a good change because there was like a musty smell on the plane anyway. But then the smell settles. And then the poop smell sets in. The child had pooped. And that was the worst part because we're all human. We need to use the bathroom, whether you're a baby or you're older or whatever. The problem was that the parents decided to change him right then and there, right next to me, and they decided to change him. And that wasn't the worst part. They kept the diaper. The entire flight, they kept the diaper there in front of the seat, like if it was their freaking personal item, carry-on, whatever. And I was just like, are they serious? The stewardess comes around with bags to pick up like anything from food or any just normal trash that you may have. The father decides to try to hand her the diaper. And the stewardess looks at him and says, no, you can't give that to me. You have to throw it away in the bathroom. But did they take it to the bathroom? No, they kept it there. And I didn't want any problems, so I didn't say anything. So that was my experience already getting here. Then I flew in. You know me, I'm always flying into airports that are further from where I'm trying to be. I usually only do that when I'm home, but this time I really needed to do it. I saved $200 even by taking an Uber from that airport into this area. I was talking to people about what the traffic is like. Apparently it's terrible. Rent is very expensive. But it's a nice area because it reminds me of home. The weather reminds me of home. I knew that it's an expensive area. I knew that it was an area that would remind me of home. I like the fact that it's has a Hispanic community. Of course, I adapt anywhere, and that's fine with me, but it's always nice to maybe know that I'm going to have some comforts of home. It is a different Hispanic community than my community, but I love Hispanics in general, so it doesn't matter. I met some very lovely people while we were on the tour. Thoughts on the school? It's beautiful. I really liked it. It's again not in the best area, and that seems to be a pattern. There's very few mystery cities that I've gone on where I'm like, okay, this is a good area. It's just a good thing as well because it means that your patient base is going to be abundant. So that's great. I think tomorrow what I'm going to do is try to get a lot of clarifications on some of the things that were casually said on the tour today. And the tour was led by someone who used to be in RDA. So if you've maybe interviewed here, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because I'm saying very specific things about the school. So I promised you guys that in this video, I was going to show you how I built my list. I know that I posted a video and I'll post the link there. I posted a video about how to use the Dental School Explorer. Prior to that, I had done my own thing, and I'm sorry if the camera is shaky. I'm holding this in my hands. Again, I forgot my tripod. I don't think I'm ever gonna bring it. I'm already at Mystery City number 4 and I've never brought it. I only use it at home, and I haven't recorded a video at home in a while. I was looking for a specific amount of things. First of all, one thing that dental schools or dental applicants are lucky to know are ranges, GPA ranges, DAT ranges. Because when I'm looking for stuff and I'm seeing my husband looking up med schools and DO schools, they give them averages, which are always good, but remember there's always a high and a low. So seeing ranges really helps you see where you are, and this goes for high applicants and low applicants. You can see maybe if you got a 23 on your DAT and you see that a school's range is a 20, that's something important to know because you are at an advantage at that point, right? So, and if it's a school that you desire, it might be a good thing to look at. But on the flip side, if you have a lower GPA and you see a 3.6 average, if you know a range of a school, you can say, well, look at the lowest GPA the school accepted. Another thing that I decided to look at when I was choosing schools was how many schools took in-state versus out-of-state and if there was a preference. I think those are all really important and you would think it's common sense, but I've actually met a lot of people that don't know that some schools don't accept out-of-state students. Unless you're 1%, then that school is not going to be really interested in you. So you want to adjust yourself because it's a very expensive process, right? You want to be very realistic. I think maybe one of the reasons why I've been so lucky to receive so many interviews is because I made a very good, realistic list of where I fit in and which schools were interested in people who had a lot of community service hours and people who juggled a lot and still maintain good extracurriculars. I didn't go for research-based heavy schools. I didn't do any research in undergrad, but if you did do research, you want to go to a school that's going to recognize that. Even if you don't want to do research going there, and there's actually a lot of schools that will tell you, we prefer applicants who have research experience. My state school actually loves people that do research, so I think that it's to each his own, right? Another thing that I looked at when choosing schools was basically which schools had early clinical experience. And preclinical experience means very different things to very different schools. So be sure to ask because it may just mean coming in and observing. It may just mean coming in and assisting. Some schools will actually have you start on doing cleanings right away. Some schools will not do preclinical experience. So you also want to make sure that that's what you want. I mean, for me, I specifically wanted preclinical experience because my focus right now is being a general dentist. I think that's where I'm going to be most useful for now. You never know how I'm going to feel later. But you also want to look at which schools have pass-fail, let's say. For me, that wasn't a problem because I don't know if I want to specialize, right? But for someone else, it might be a problem that a school is pass-fail. So you want to be aware of that. Would you even bother applying? right? If you want a school that creates grades and rankings, I think I have a mixture of pass-fail and ranking schools that I'm interviewing at. So for me, it doesn't really matter, but for some people, it might. Not every school that I applied to has this. Actually, only, like, it's in the minority. I think only 2 of the ones that I have interviews to have offices of diversity. And I think that's kind of a neat thing for somebody who is coming a long way from home. And, you know, I'm a majority where I'm from. Where I'm from in Florida, everyone is Cuban. So for me, I'm always like in the majority, which is weird because Hispanics are usually what? A minority, right? So when I go to other states, it's always fun to interact with others. I like the fact that a couple of the schools that I'm interviewing at have an office of diversity because it makes me feel like those schools are welcoming of me, and it's just nice to know that someone's there to help you through a transition if you need it. Like, I'm lucky enough to have like a good support system, but still, you want to keep that in mind. This interview I'm in right now, for example, they seem just very like about getting people to speak Spanish and things like that, because it's a very Spanish-based population in the area. So whether you want to or not, you're gonna learn. So I don't think I mind that there is no like support group like that, just because it's probably gonna feel like home. Wow, my hair is extra wispy today, guys. I did it myself. I didn't go to the salon. Pretty good job, right? If any girls want to know what I use on my hair, ask me. I am kind of high maintenance, so I like use a lot of hair products and stuff like that. So if you want to know, let me know. Also, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to post in the videos like where I stayed in some of the places maybe, or you guys can ask me yourself and I can tell you if it was good, if it was a bad place. Usually I focus on reviews, so I've stayed in pretty good places so far. So yeah, if you guys want to know where I stayed, how much it was to Uber, all of that, I think after I'm done with all the interviews, I'm going to create a spreadsheet to see how much everything was. I don't even know if I want to see that number, but I think it would be nice. So maybe if anything, like if you ask me a specific question, I'll actually have the spreadsheet of everything. And I think I'm also going to make a video of the spreadsheet that I used to organize my dental schools when I was applying, all of them. And then what I used to organize after I had gotten interviews. And I'll post it for you guys and you guys can download it and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say in this city, which is sad. I'm so jet lagged that I don't even want to explore anywhere, and like I couldn't even sleep because of the child, the poopy, screaming child next to me, so imagine. And then I had to come to this tour. So maybe tomorrow I'll have some footage for you guys, but I can't promise anything. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know, and then I'm going to let you know my feedback after the interview. So I made a ton of friends today.
Hi.
So we were able to do the interview and for the school, and we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we had fun.
And we toured the apartments too.
Yeah, so when I tell you guys, because I'm not revealing the names of the school or anything like that, but on December 1st, I'll let you know a lot about that apartment complex. It's on
December
campus.
1st.
Yeah, December 1st, if we get in anywhere, hopefully. Yeah, I'll let you guys know all about that beautiful apartment complex and what we know about the living situation. But I'm so glad I found an Uber buddy.
Uber driver, please don't scream at us.
Yeah, like our drive is gonna be very long, so hopefully the Uber driver doesn't hate us, and
hopefully we don't hit like really bad traffic.
So this should be a lesson to you guys, like make friends. It should be like a time for you to actually get to know people. It's like a future classmate, and also an Uber buddy if you need to like budget and save money. But yeah, what did you think? Did you have a good experience?
I had a good first interview day.
Yeah. So that's what it's all about. Yeah. Okay, so we're actually really tired, and I'm gonna make this a lot shorter than the other video. So bye. Bye.